Hey everyone, this is Luminous coming you guys with a pro Dota commentary. This commentary is affiliated with DC, and for more commentary content, check us out on DotaCommentaries.com. This is Game 2 of the iCity Pro Finals between CCM and Scythe.SG. And if you're wondering why I'm casting Game 2 before I casted Game 1, well, I tried casting Game 1, and I was like, okay, this game is going to be good. I'm psyched, I'm pumped. And then there was a very sick, first blood attempt from both sides where Sentinel got 5 people gathered together, Scourge got 5 people gathered together, and they both used smoke of the seat, and they met in the center, and then there was a huge clash going on. I was like, yes, I caught that, because there was 10 hero in one region of the map. I got that shit down. And then I missed the next 7 kills. I was like, fuck this, I don't want to cast this game no more. So I quit, and then now you're seeing game 2, because Alright, so this is game 2. I know the result of game 1, so cover your ears if you don't want to be spoiled. I'll give you like 2 seconds to cover it, because I'm pretty sure someone else is going to cast game 1. It's a high profile match, it's a final of a big LAN tournament, so I'm sure someone's going to cast it. So if you're waiting for the commentary, cover your ear for the next 5 seconds. So CCM took game 1 convincingly, probably with like 20 stock ahead or something. They just raped so much with Weaver, AA, and you can see that Scythe.SG is banning it right now. And they do have good reason to ban the Weaver, and the AA gives them so much range through the Swarm. Swarm always gives you sight, so that helps the AA aim with the AA Blast, with the Ice Blast ultimate. And AA as a hero is just really ridiculous. Ferrari played an insane AA in game 1, and a really dominated lane. It looks like Scythe.SG has gone for the Morphling pick. Meanwhile, the Chinese, CCM is Chinese. For my Zoe, as you see here, Ferrari is 430, Shansheng DDC Xiao 8 from a player from Dream. So really good players, not as well known as some of the profile players, such as Yafits from the former Nirvana China, or Nirvana China's current DGC, my idol. And but I really don't like this pick from Scythe.SG. It's really up their style. They like to pick Morphling first for Yamate, or either Yamate or Hi. I believe Hi picked play Morphling game 1. And I believe they also went first pick Morphling in game 1. Morphling, don't get me wrong, really good hero, very versatile, can solo mid if you need him to, but also a very strong tri lane. Has a lot of survivability, could come in and join a team fight anytime you wish. Has some versatile mid game builds, can go that Ethereal Blade if need be, can go for a very late game oriented build of the Lincoln Sphere Manta. So very versatile hero. But if you're talking about the versatility, Invoker on the other side is the king of versatility. He can do whatever you wish him to do. I even see Invoker support. You could play him as DPS carry. You could play him caster. You could play him range caster. You could play him very melee. Well, not melee. You can't play him melee, but you guys want to know. You guys know what I mean in terms of he can do whatever you wish him to do. For everyone that's actually watching live, I am at 251, 252, 253 laps, 254. I'll actually pause at the end to kind of talk over things. So I'll give you some time to catch up. So I'm not gonna say Scythe.SG is getting outpicked. I feel like when you're picking as a captain, and I do have a lot of experience in terms of this, sometimes it's better to not pick the best heroes in the pool, but pick what you're more familiar with. I hope that's coming across as a clear point. It doesn't matter, let's say you pick like the best, the 5 best heroes in the current Dota game, but if let's say your team is not really, like, they don't know how to play it, but more likely in this case they're not really comfortable with it, or they don't prefer playing it, and Scythe is picking the hero that they're more comfortable with, and most likely this is the Morphling pick, and especially the Shaker pick, because we know Roy on Scythe.SG plays a mean Shaker, and they really, like, every time I play Scythe, every time I see Scythe games, they try their best to get that Shaker, and when they do, they have a good shot at winning, because they really sets up really good early ganks. That Shaker, it plays so offensively. Usually we see Shaker play defensively, but Roy Shaker blocks off really well with Fisher. So that could explain why they put so much I guess attention in getting things like heroes like Morphling or Shaker when there's more pressing hero such as Windrunner, Visage, and Invoker. It looks like CCM. I really like CCM's picks. I feel like these heroes that they got is this version is the stronger heroes. So I at the very least I feel like I like their picks a little bit more. Looks like Scythe.SG is working on the 5th ban. I'm not too sure what they're thinking here. They could ban a couple of support, though Visage is most like, yeah, they are going to ban support. Crystal Maiden is going to help out the Surge lineup very much so because the Mana Regen. Meanwhile here, CCM getting rid of the Puck, a very good choice. Puck really limits the movement of the Invoker, especially if he blinks in with a Waning Rift. That Invoker is going to be sitting ducks. And also I feel like because Scythe.SG do have a tradition of picking good pucks, or having a puck on their lineup and then playing it pretty well, so Puck is a very good ban here. Let's see what Scythe.SG is going to go into here. The Lich can be playing as a solo Lich. We're seeing that become more and more popular, especially with that Echo Slam and Chain Frost combo. Pretty good mid-game combo. Well, that requires your Shaker to get the dagger though, and that might or might not happen depending how good that Shaker game is. So of course the Lich can go into a trialing as well, and if we were going to see a trialing of the Morph Shaker Lich, that will be a pretty formidable trialing. So at the very least, Scythe.SG is hiding the lane pretty well. In terms of the laning matchup though, I'm not too sure who can outlane Invoker mid. There's not many heroes that could really outlane Invoker mid. I really can't think of one. If I scratch my head, I would say Syllabear might have a pretty good shot, especially in a long lane. But I really can't envision Scythe.SG picking Syllabear here. Yeah, they're going to pick a Venge, so this means we're going to see a Lich solo, most likely. Again, the Morphling can solo, but it's very unlikely, so we'll see. So Venge being dropped down to 4th pick, I personally might have picked it a little bit earlier, but again, you know, different captains have different tastes in terms of what they're picking, in terms of whether you're familiar with your team, whether you know fits a certain playing style. And again, I'm pretty sure both teams believe Venge is a really good hero. It's just that certain heroes have to precede it, such as Invoker or Visage. And I guess in the Scythe side, you know, Morphling, Lich, Shaker. So this Venge will give the Sentinel a lot of mobility. The Morphling can play a little bit even more aggressive, even with this waveform, because he could depend the Venge coming out. And really good counter initiating hero being picked up is that Tidehunter. And because, I mean, there's so much initiating power on Scythe.SG, you could set up with a Long Fisher or you know, swap an enemy hero in, and then that's a really good form of initiation. And Tidehunter is one of the best to counter initiate. If you jump in, if you don't kill that Tide from 100 to death, and there's really no way you can actually do that, he will just basically break up any sort of initiation and then just fight the team fight in their own terms. And in terms of breaking up initiation, that is gonna really hurt the flow, especially like Lich is a really frail hero, right? If you counter initiate, kill the Lich before he drops the Chain Frost, you're good as one. You're pretty good as won the team fight. And they're gonna go Alchemist as last pick, so there is a chance that they're going to do a trialing of the Venge Alchemist Shaker, and then put the Morphling into solo, but there's an equal likely chance that they're going to put a Alchemist solo, because Alchemist can solo. His early level is a little bit shabby, but once you hit, you know, level 3 or 5, once you could just throw down that acid spray, you can really win the lane pretty easily. He feels like a little bit like a Nevermore, where Nevermore has a really hard, tough time in terms of level 1 to 3. But after you know hit level 5, 6, 7, you should be really good. And Alchemist feels like that as a solo hero. Of course, he doesn't have you know, as much lane control as Nevermore as a comparison, but he ramps up pretty well. So you know, we don't really know whether Scythe.SG, in terms of the player playing it. If I see Hi playing the Hi, which is picking right now Hanbao on blue, if I see Hi playing the Alchemist, then he's most likely gonna solo mid, because Hi is usually the solo mid player. And Chinese is rounding down on their last pick. They do need a carry in a tri lane, so because the Visage and the Tai is most likely going to be on support. The Windrunner is going to be in solo. Invoker is going to be solo. So the lanes are crystal clear here. They're going to pick up another range carry, I suppose. And let's see what they're going to go into. There's a lot of farm already left on the table. Invoker can eat up a bit of farm. Windrunner will eat up a lot of farm as well. So let's see if they're going to go for a 3 semi-carry 2 support, or they're going to go into like a 3 support lane into 2 carry. Because the Chinese lately, they like to play a earlier mid-game strat, and it looks like they're going to go Necrolite. So I am going to pause this game in the 9-minute elapse for everyone that's listening live to catch up. And this Necrolite is a little bit weird as a pick. Of course, it is a good counter to both Morphling and the Alchemist. These are natural tanks. And I'm not sure if it, well, we haven't seen Necrolite in quite a bit, because you know in my opinion, there's a lot better heroes, but Necrolite in this case will work out really well. It also will free up the Windrunner in terms of getting her, stable mecha. She can work into either a very early Hex or a Force Staff. In both cases, I believe is a really good item because we're most likely going to see that Necrolite go into Mecha and then Pipe. And with those two items completed, he's going to have a very easy time in terms of staying in the front line, tanking up a good majority of spells coming from Sentinel, and then he's going to have a quite easy time. Earlier, before they picked the Necrolite, I was talking about whether they're going to eat up the farm, and I was alluding to a point where the Chinese are nowadays really popularizing a 3 support lane support tri-lane. So they basically have 3 intelligence / support heroes in the tri-lane, and they will split the farm, and then in the mid game they'll give most of the farm to their semi carries. But not in this case. They're gonna run the standard 3 carries or 3 semi carries into 2 support, and then that's gonna be really standard. So I hope everyone is at the 9-minute elapsed, because I will be unpausing in 3, 2, 1, unpause. So let's see who is going to be picking what hero, and that's going to determine what lane they're going to go into. We do see Hanbao picking that Alchemist, so he's most likely going to go into a solo lane. I am suffering a little bit from FPS trouble. Hopefully it'll calm down. It looks like it's a very interesting item build. Only a 2 Salve, a Tango, a Salve Tango, and a Clarity. He is saving up 263 gold, so that is an indication that he's going to be going solo mid. He wants to go that early bottom. Looks like they're going to scatter around for a Smoke of the Sea. Lich does have that Ancient Tank on a boost of speed, so that means he's going to go in the solo lane as well. So we are going to see that tri-lane Morphling played by Yamate. Pretty standard way, as we see these guys waiting up a hill as well. Very aggressive moves from the Sentinel, and this is how game 1 started as well. Necrolite might really be in trouble if he really just stick up, and I believe these guys are waiting for the Scourge to get a rune. Oh my god, Dust or Smoke is repelled, and I believe, yeah, I'm seeing mappings. I'm seeing mappings by CCM. Oh no, it's gonna be Shake. Oh my god, what a bad Fisher. That basically just saved the life of Ty. No, but good block. They are gonna go focus the Venge. Is the Venge gonna die first? Venge does die first. So that is, oh my god, Roy, or Koi in this case, actually messing up a Fisher. You generally don't see that. So despite the Scourge only having 3 heroes, was able to pick up first blood. Who did pick up the first blood? Sansheng. So he is playing support, so we're gonna see a very early Crow, I'm guessing, and then that's gonna help out the Scourge team very much so. So let's see how the lane is gonna be. We're gonna see Invoker mid. I like this Invoker. He's not skilling anything yet. Well, he's probably, let's see what he's going to go into. The Chinese Invoker really love to go into Quas Wex, abuse that mobility, and he is going to see Alchemist mid. Yeah, he is going to go Quas. Probably going to pick up a very early quick Orb of Venom. We are going to see Alchemist just stunning that spray. He is going to stun himself, and okay, well, Invoker's not going to get any hits in, so that's good, I guess. But I don't know how Hanbao is gonna win this lane, because Invoker, yeah, you can see Invoker is just running in. He's gonna dominate in lane control. However, the Alchemist, lucky for him, is that he did get that kill during that, I guess, first blood dive, so he is level 2. Meanwhile, a lot of action going to bot lane here. Venge forced to tank out. He hasn't even had the chance to war yet. So basically, Sentinel is right now playing blind. Xiao A's kind of between the creeps, so he needs to play a bit really careful. They are gonna pincer this Shaker. Shaker eats the tree and tangos out. Very smart play for the Shaker. Now they're gonna return a little bit barrage on the Visage. No harm done on both teams. You want to look at the top lane here. We are gonna have a Windrunner versus Lich, and this Windrunner is definitely gonna have the advantage here. He does have the Ring of Protection, so that means he's tanking a little bit extra. And he does have better regen, he has better stats, and Joy here has to really rely on his Nova, but that Nova is not going to be really strong until level 3. Meanwhile, looking back in the mid lane, Invoker playing as he should, standing between the creep wave and the Alchemist. That Alchemist can't really do too much of anything, because as we see a Fisher trap going to bot lane here. Shaker is trapped. Already gonna get a kill. No, actually Tidehunter goes down. Good quick sell from the Shaker and quick clarity as well. And actually this tri-lane is gonna go back in the favor of Yamate. Yamate is sitting at 2 and 3 CS. Meanwhile her Zoe at 3 and 4. So CS not at the best for either players. And I think both this lane is gonna determine by kills. So very defensive lane on the Scourge end, but they've been making pretty aggressive move. They're gonna go on Shaker once again. I'm not too sure whether they can make a kill on the Shaker. One of the reasons I don't really like Necrolite in the tri-lane is that because his killing range is not that high. What I mean by killing range is that the Necrolite has to get really close in the enemy to actually get your nuke off. If you look at the comparison, if you look at the Venge, Morphling, Shaker, very long range spells. So by that comparison, I feel like this tri-lane on Scourge is not going to be as effective. And going back to mid lane here, Invoker is just completely bullying this Alchemist. Alchemist can't even get near the creep. And if you're wondering why can't you get near the creep, I mean, you know, Invoker his back is turned against the Sentinel creeps. If Invoker decides to harass the Alchemist, won't the creeps really just hurt the Invoker quite a bit? Yes and no. Yeah, the Invoker will get hurt, but then we are seeing the Quas regen from the Invoker. Invoker is gonna just regen it back passively through the Quas, so that physical harass is basically going to be rained down on the Alchemist. You can see that, man, Invoker just basically rather the tank tower, but keeping the Alchemist away from creeps. Alchemist only 4 creep kills, by comparison 13 creep kills on the Invoker. Invoker doing absolutely everything right. Meanwhile, a lot of more battle going in bot lane. They are going to try to kill this Morphling. Morphling, you know, waveforms out, no big deal. He really needs a salve there. Does Venge have a salve? No. Shaker does not have a salve either. And now this Morphling needs to be very careful. He needs his Venge to pass some Tango, or Shaker needs it. No Tangos either. With that, I believe Scourge has won the trialing, unless they're going to send a Crow with full restorative. And we are going to see TIE Hunter coming in, and also Zoe making very aggressive move. They're going to go on the Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit gets a stun off. Fisher gets a stun off as well. But there we go. Necrolite is going to run straight in. His heal is going to go on the Visage, and excuse me, go on the Venge. Venge goes down, and it looks like this tower might be going down as well. Is Basil Ring turned on? Basil Ring, yes, Basil Ring is turned on. Visage tanking the tower at this point. The aggro is going to be unfortunately on him. But regardless, without the regen coming in from the Sentinel, I believe Sentinel has basically lost the trialing. They fought their way back after that unfortunate first blood, but really, without regen, I mean, I guess it's the good thing having a Necrolite in the trialing is that every time he pulls, he heals everything, right? Whereas, you know, there's nothing similar on the Sentinel trialing, so we'll see. The Crow is still flying around. Crow is coming with the boots of speed only, so still no regen, and I'm not really too sure whether I like this choice. Maybe Morphling is saving up to his Ring of Health, but I don't think he will get here, because he's not getting any farm. Zoe is just completely dominating lane, even though he's not farming the best himself. You know, you don't need to farm the best yourself if you're keeping people from farming. We want to dive on the top lane here. Oh my god, Lich diving in the jungle, but is he going to get the last hit? He is going to get the last hit, but that kill is going to go down. A little bit fortunate for I guess for Joy is that yes, DDC did get the go, but unfortunately there's no single point of EXP, whereas meanwhile Lich got the EXP, so that is the difference there. And you know, when they meet up head to head the next fight, there's, you know, the Lich is going to be a little bit ahead in EXP. Invoker in the mid lane, 22 and 10. Alchemist, where's Alchemist? Alchemist at 7. Oh my god, Alchemist is getting completely outlaned. I mean, he does have what, level in Goblin Greed, but he probably haven't even hit a creep yet since he's skill level Goblin Greed. And Invoker's just running. He's as if he's playing on the Sentinel. And one thing that Ferrari needs to do a little bit better, of course, I mean, I'm like a tenth of the player as a Ferrari, is that you really need to pay closer attention in terms of denying against the acid spray, because even though you're chasing the Alchemist back, Alchemist is going to still get gold through that acid spray. It's going to be amplified a little bit with that Goblin Greed. So, but Invoker is doing an excellent job in terms of keeping the Alchemist from hitting level 6. And 2 bottles, is that 1 Morphling's bottle? 2 bottle on the Alchemist. So I'm not too sure what that's about, but Phase Boots already finished on the Alchemist. I think Alchemist is going to die here. Cold Snap, 1 hit, 2 hit, and Tornado. That's going to be dead. 1 more hit. There you go. And Alchemist is just getting toyed around the mid lane, and they're going to make another go. Did I just see a gush on that Centaur Archive? They're going to make a focus on the Necrolite. Necrolite is going to try to heal up a lot of damage. No, but the continue a great block, and this is what I mean by that really good play of that Scythe Shaker. I guess a little bit fortunate for CCM is that they did get everyone extremely low on the Sentinel trialing, and Sentinel, despite not having too much regen, is fighting their way back. Not exactly how sure they're doing it. Maybe they did ferry themselves a couple self, and after that fight they are still in low HP. And it looks like, looking at the top lane here, this is the only lane that the Sentinel is having a firmer grasp on. Lich has 20 creep kills, 8 deny, and don't let this 8 deny fool you. He has a couple of Dark Ritual denies as well, and that is going to be limiting the XP. Yeah, Windrunner only level 4. Meanwhile, level 5 now. But meanwhile, level 7 Lich. And this is where that trading kill benefited Lich so much more. And Windrunner is really resorting to, you know, power shot to farm. And that's it, because he really needs to stay back. Oh my god. Oh, excuse me. Oh man. Okay. Hold on, another bleed's coming out. Oh, this Alchemist is dead. What is that Alchemist doing? Alchemist. Okay. All right, I'm good. I'm good. All right, Invoker. Oh, okay. All right, I'm good. All right, looking at bot lane here. Xiao 8 is gonna be dead. Okay, that's cool. Man, I felt so good because I'm not missing any creep kills or missing any hero kills. Because tower, don't get denied. Yamate. Oh, Yamate making them look bad. I see they're gonna make another go on the. Oh, they're gonna try to go for Necrotic. A little bit of miscommunication problem. Should have gone for the Necrotic. If that Fisher Stem was on him, they would have made it very, very easy go. But now Shaker very low. A TP going to top lane as well. Yes, they are gonna focus on Lich. It's gonna be a very good shackle shot. They need to be careful of the Chain Frost. A good spread, very good spread. No Chain Frost. Oh no, not enough mana. Needs 200 mana for the Chain Frost. You need to turn that to end. If he turned that to end, that would have been enough mana for the Chain Frost. Or he might have died to that. There we go. Chain Frost. Cash your Chain Frost. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, Lich. Lich definitely could have got the kill on the Windrunner if he just swapped it. Well, you know. You guys, I already screamed it enough. You know, look in the mid lane here. Invoker at 40. He's doubling the Alchemist CS. My god, Alchemist is just not having a good day. Asterisk Rage drop down. Ferrari is going to be on top of it in terms of denying, or I hope he will be. He's actually not denying crap, and that's why Alchemist actually has 20 creep kill. But again, twice a player as I am, so I'm not going to say shit. Ferrari's one of the best Chinese invokers out there, in my opinion. It looks like he's going to go for a Django build first. And this is, I'm not too sure what I have said this in any other my commentary. Chinese invoker love to do a very MS focused build, MS being the movement speed. So getting maxing Wex as soon as possible, getting things like phase boots, getting things like Django or Force Staff or Eel Scepter. In any case, any of those items would give you some MS kind of bonus in one way or another. So what this invoker will abuse of range in terms of counter ganking, in terms of assisting in ganks, and then joining every team fight possible. Of course, he doesn't have much in terms of damage. But then, in terms of a utility invoker like this, you leave your teammate to do the damage. You leave your Windrunner, you leave your Necrolite to do the damage. What this invoker will provide is a lot of disable, a lot of long range disable, and a lot of utility as well. And he could be in every single team fight. So he's just increasing the global presence of actually having a hero there whenever needed. So that is why the Chinese love to do it. And Chinese is very positional. They have a very positional playing style. So having a fast moving hero such as invoker is going to help out. So many illusions. Illusion is gonna here's illusion. They're gonna focus on Venge out of position. It's gonna take a no, they're gonna focus on Morphling very low. It's gonna take a soul assumption. Not too sure why Yamate waveform such short. And we're gonna see Invoker can be so quick. He's gonna catch up the Venge. Are we gonna see Cold Snap? Yes, sir. We're gonna see a Cold Snap and Venge is gonna go down. Venge is gonna try to drop a magic missile before he's not even get the chance to do so. Shanshan picking up a double kill, and he is gonna be filthy rich. He's probably gonna go for a very quick. I'm not too sure what Vice is gonna go for. Normally Vice either goes for either Django or the Mecha, but in either case, I'm pretty sure either the Necro is gonna go either the Necro or the Windrunner is gonna go the Mecha, and then Django's already picked up, and they're gonna go for the tower. One hit. Oh, there we go. Tornado. Oh, they're gonna kill they are gonna kill the Alchemist. Let's see if we can get the tower denied though. Oh, tower not denied. I guess that's sort of worth it. Both teams not gonna complain too much because Sentinel did get the tower, and Scourge did get the kill on the Alchemist. So I guess both teams sort of happy with that exchange. They might not be happy, but that's what they got. So Yamate forced to go to top lane. They are trying to pick down this tower. Critically, Yamate 23 creep kills. 20. Have we ever seen Yamate farm so bad? Big engagement in the bot lane. Chain Frost and the Tai ult is gonna go off, and Lich goes down, and that is the healing power of the Necrolite. He was pulsing like crazy. We see that Shaker extremely low. He does have mana for one more Fisher. Probably gonna lob it out before he goes back. Yeah, he's doing just that. Or maybe he might be sticking around for the XP. No, he's not even gonna do that. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, Yamate finally destroys the tower, and that is going to be critical in terms of helping out his farm. He's only got 27, and if you're going to compare the farm to Invoker's got 56. Meanwhile, Invoker at the bot lane getting a kill, and that's where the mobility, like I didn't even see Invoker in the nearby vicinity, but he probably just phased in with max alacrity, or max Wex, came in with Tornado, Cold Snap, and that Invoker thought he was safe and died. And that's where the high MS Invoker move, high MS Invoker build comes into handy. And let's see, let's check out how the item progression is doing. We do have Necrolite with treads, and the Yamate not even treads yet, so you don't know Yamate is farming bad when he has 13 minutes, not even treads completed. Invoker does have the Django, does have the phase boot, and looks like he's going to be on the prowl in terms of gank. This Alchemist needs to be careful. That's all he has is his Style Shield. Are we going to see a Tornado set up a gank? No, he's not even going for a TIE Hunter. Has a magic stick and a boost of speed. He has treads as well. So when the enemy TIE Hunter has treads and your own Morphling does not, you are up for a really bad game. Let me see how Vicer's farming. Vicer's got a couple kills, but he does have 1600 gold, so he's most likely going to finish his treads and then just going to go for a cloak or something. Pretty good build for a support hero such as Visage. Or he might just go for a Staff of Wizardry for that 4-staff. We'll see what he picks up. Let's see how Lich is farming. Lich is the only one on Sentinel with any kind of decent farm because he is winning that lane against the Windrunner. It looks like he's going to go for Mecha first. Mecha first is going to benefit the Sentinel team extremely so because there's a high amount of burst damage, high amount of AoE burst damage as well. So that Mecha is going to replenish the Sentinel's health, and they really need that. Also, Lich is going to need to pick up a couple of EXP points. He only has Frost Armor at level 1. I'm not too sure whether I agree with this choice because I feel like Dark Ritual at level 2 is already good enough in terms of cooldown and mana regen that you don't need to max at level 4. I think maxing at level 4, even in solo lane, is just a little bit overkill. And I believe Frost Armor is just more important as a mid-game spell. You can see that right now if they have level 3 or level 2 Frost Armor instead of level 1, I think that they might be a little bit better off. Or maybe this Lich saw, well, there's not much physical damage anyways coming from the Scourge team, so there's really no reason to skill a high level of Frost Armor. And that I agree, because from the Scourge team, mostly magical damage. Invoker, Windrunner, Necrolite, pretty much all magical. So I guess that's cool. I guess so. We'll see though. Necrolite pushing in the top tower, meanwhile Scourge, Sentinel pushing the bot. I think they're going to do a tower trade. I think tower trade is... Oh, who is going to get caught on? Invoker needs to Ghost Walk. I'm not too sure what... No, he pops it. Oh, he pops the Django, pops a phase boot, and you can see he's moving at 512, man. He's moving at 522. That's max move speed. And it looks like he's going to go for Orchids. What a very interesting... And this is where the versatility of Invoker comes in. His item build is so versatile that he doesn't even need to go for that Aga. Like he doesn't. Well, Aga is always good on Invoker. He not just for cycling through all his spells because Invoker is not the tankiest hero, so extra HP wouldn't hurt. But looks like Invoker is gonna go for the Orchid. It's gonna of course for the silence on the Morphling or whoever else that they need to have it thrown on. And looks like with that, the Scourge traded 2 tower for none because Invoker by himself with TIE Hunter just defended against 5. I'm not too sure why the Sentinel actually didn't press against it because they have 5 against the Invoker. Invoker was half HP at that point, and they didn't send anyone to defend either. So CCM up so many towers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. CCM has taken 5 towers. Meanwhile, the Sentinel has only taken 2. So in that regard, CCM is ahead by 3,000 gold. 3,000 gold is going to translate into Urn of Shadow on the Visage. Let's see, the TIE Hunter with the cloak, and of course, halfway to his Orchid is that Invoker. Necrolite does have his hood finish. Who's making the Mecha? Windrunner? Yeah, Windrunner already has the Mecha finish, so very good farm on CCM. Meanwhile, by comparison, Yamate has his treads. Okay, and then Shaker has not even a Soul Ring. And then let's see, the Venge has absolutely nothing, of course. Alchemist has absolutely nothing. Alchemist almost a Vanguard. I mean, a 16-minute Vanguard, yeah, that's not going to cut it. As we see, Joy goes down. My apology for missing that. Probably has something to do with that crazy Invoker range. Yes, Invoker is right there. And you can see that he picked up the Django not only like maybe 5 minutes ago, but already two charge used. And that is Oblivion Staff number 2. So very quick Orchid. We're going to see Orchid probably finish in before 20 minutes. And that Morphling's not going to have Lincolns by then. I mean, I think this game is as good as done. Still very early to call it. I mean, if this game goes on for like 40 more minutes, Yamate, I'm sure he's going to get his farm going, and that might carry them to win the game. But CCM is just too good for that. They know when to push. They're not gonna turtle when there's a morph on the other side and they don't have any hard carry themselves. So they're gonna go for Roshan, and there's nothing the Sentinel could do about it. The Sentinel can try to come in, but between Tile, Tornado, EMP, and everything, every other spell in the Sentinel and Scourge arsenal, there's no way. You can see that the Tornado Scout, my god, he's even farming a freaking Satyr in the enemy. Wow, from the Roshan area. That's initiation range of the Invoker. That's just beastly. And we're going to see Aegis being picked up by Ferrari. Ferrari is just an absolute stack. I believe that they're going to just wait for a pipe finish on the Necro and an Orchid finish on the Invoker, and they're going to just 5-man mid. And I don't think the Sentinel could defend this. Let's see how the Shaker's doing. If Shaker has a Blink Dagger, there's a glimmer of hope, but Shaker is only sitting at 95 gold, because really, I mean, if your Morphling's doing bad, if your Alchemist doing bad, there's no way they're going to give up the farm to Shaker. Even though I do believe Shaker can kind of bring himself back in the game. As we see, Alchemist does have this Vanguard finish. We gotta keep in mind that the Sentinel does have Shaker, pretty good defensive hero. The Alchemist with that Acid Spray, also quite a good defensive hero. But the initiation power of the Scourge is a little bit too much, because all the Sentinel, all the Scourge really need is just a Tornado hitting 3 or 4 heroes. Invoker then will pop his Django. The Tide will run in. As soon as they drop down from the Tornado, they're gonna be flying up again, and they're gonna be like, woo, roller coaster ride, up down, and these birds are feeding. That's cool. Oh no, he has good enough micro to tank 3 tower hits and then flying it down. He calculated that, because he's Chinese. He's that good. And let's see. Lich level 1 Frost Armor. So there we go. EMP Tornado on the Lich. Not as effective a Lich. Very low HP. My god. The burst damage of that EMP Tornado is just absolutely beastly. Mid tower goes down. That's 6 exterior tower being taken down by a Chinese team in less than 20 minutes. Pipe finish on the Necrolite. Are we going to have the, what do you call it? The Orchid's not even finished. There we go. Shaker, Acid Spray, defense. But because these guys are healers, they don't really care. There we go. Is Orchid coming? No, Orchid's not coming yet. Invoker is going to be weathering down on this tower. Tower has already lost 600 HP. EMB Tornado is going to be raining down every 30 seconds. And my guy, even though Sentinel is really close to the fountain, I don't think they're going to have enough time to defend this. Shaker is going to be, yeah, he's going to be doing this all day with that Acid Spray. And they're just defending this very valiantly. But I think this Rax is, it's just a matter of time. And let's see if the Venge get a very key swap. No, EMP Tornado, then there's that initiation. This is what I mean. I said it before in the pregame analysis. If they could abuse that long-range initiation and kill that Lich before the team fight even happens, they can just push and win a team fight. But they're not pushing. Okay, very interesting choice. No, they're going to send a Necrolite back to defend this tower. Don't want the enemy to get a 1,000 gold boost, which I guess that's a valid choice. I mean, I guess they're also still waiting for the Invoker to finish his Orchids. He is going to pick it up right now. 20-minute Orchid as predicted. And, oh my god, I don't know. Because Morphling, right? I mean, oh, Morphling has gone BKB first. And that, ooh, really, really interesting. We have been seeing that as becoming more and more as a trend. And that BKB suddenly makes him not as a fair of a hero as previously thought. Because I thought, well, you know, with that Orchid, that Morphling is going to be dead. He's going to be sitting duck. But no, he's going to basically pop his BKB, and then he's going to have, you know, 10 seconds to do whatever he wants. Of course, there is still a couple of good physical DPS from the Scourge team. I feel like the Scourge is so much ahead in items, then they could start out DPSing the Morphling right now physically, and I think they will do just that. So with the Orchid picked up on the Invoker actually do quite a bit of physical damage as well. Look at his plus damage, 110 without any exort damage. You can see that between the phase boot, between the Orchids, he's just right-clicking. Like he could basically right-click the Morphling down if you choose to do so. But I still agree with the Yamate's build. BKB first, very defensive item, and especially in this case, he really needs to survive as long as possible. It doesn't matter, let's say if there's a big team fight breaks out, and let's say they trade evenly, but if the Morphling dies, then even if you're winning these team fights, or if you're trading evenly in these team fights, it doesn't matter if your carry dies, and that BKB is going to help him survive. So we see a dive going on the top lane, plus 243 amplified damage on the Ferrari's Orchid, and we're not going to see any farm on the Alchemist. In this case, I feel like Alchemist should just give up his Radiance, should just go Vanguard Hood, Vanguard Pipe, and hopefully could draw this game out as long as possible. But looks like CCM has other things in their mind. And this time they're gonna just take down the mid tower. Alchemist buys back. He needs to lay down the acid spray. He does, but this tower is gonna go down. Alchemist is gonna be running in. I don't think. There we go. Morphling initiates. He is gonna pop his BKB, but don't pop your BKB just to run. Looks like he's gonna popping his BKB. Oh my god! Great ice wall. Blink dagger initiation. Is that blink? Yes, that is blink dagger initiation from the TIE Hunter. And looks like that Morphling is gonna go down despite with the BKB. I think Yamate just got ahead of his own team, waveformed in without his any teammate support, or maybe his teammate was trying to support, but a very good isolation from an EMP tornado. Again, that Lich did not drop down his Chain Frost in the entirety of that team fight, and with that result, Morphling needs to buy back, so that is slowing down his item even further. Chain Frost flies around, and that Chain Frost is going to be huge. No! Oh my god, the Dota gods on the side of CCM, just the most ridiculous bounce, the worst bounce ever against Scythe.SG, and that range Rex is gonna go down as well. Invoker doing his dirty work is gonna just right click down, silence the Venture. My god, look at his DPS. TIE Hunter blinks in. Who is he gonna focus? TIE Hunter blinks in tank stuff, and he's gonna focus on the right now. CCM not even focusing on the right heroes at the right time. They're gonna try to focus out on the Alchemist, who has the Medallion of Courage, and that is. Who's Medallion Courage? That Shaker. Oh, Invoker taking quite a bit of damage. Alchemist does go down, but Invoker's still alive. Who has a Medallion Courage? I didn't even see. Checking item, Medallion Courage. Oh, Medallion Courage on Visage. My bad. Very interesting. Medallion Courage, and I suppose it helps your birds do physical damage. Makes sense. But I think that's probably one of the reasons he could pick it up, but it's mostly for the Alchemist, because Alchemist, as we all know, is heavily, like, Alchemist as a hero didn't really receive a lot of nerf, but in the current version, the reason that we don't see Alchemist as much is that the popularity of Weaver and also the availability of Medallion Courage is really killing that hero. Because if you get a swarm on that Alchemist gotta spend at least 3 attacks on that swarm. And you know, if Alchemist needs to spend 3, like a second or 2 attacking a swarm, then you're doing something right. And also the Medallion Courage is gonna make that Alchemist armor become be low. Looks like they're gonna make a gank on the Morphling. They probably not gonna kill the Morphling, but at the very least they're gonna waste a BKB charge. No, we're gonna go Invoker. He's ghost walking in. Yeah, they're gonna try to get this Morphling. No. Morphling senses it. He doesn't have too much damage to speak of, and he's really cutting it close. Only 1100 HP. I'm not too sure whether that kind of HP level is sufficient, because all they need is 1 nuke, and that Morphling is gonna be in enough range to get. Oh, they're gonna they're gonna just aim a couple of spells on the Necrolite. Necrolite does have Hex finish, and we're gonna see Pipe pop quite soon, and then there we go, Hex on the illusion, so that illusion is gonna go down. Alchemist is running in. Alchemist is great shackle shot. Alchemist trying to go on the Windrunner. Windrunner quite tanked though. Between the Alchemist heal, TIE Hunter blinks in. Is it gonna be a ult initiation? No, just scaring them away. They really need to right click this tower. There we go. Healing from the Necrolite is just gonna keep them quite healthy. You can see that sending under the acid spray doesn't matter. They're tanking nukes, tanking towers, and this tower is gonna go down regardless. Windrunner, you gotta be careful. She's pretty fair right now. Only 1050 HP. Tower does go down. Absolutely 0 resistance coming from the Sentinel. There's just a complete outlane. Ice Wall using it very offensively. Well, I guess pseudo. Oh my god, Tile with the Blink Dagger. And Lich, can they kill the Lich without casting anything? And Alchemist goes down without casting anything. Morphling just barely waveforms out. Are we gonna see a good Sunstrike? If that Pulse is chasing, he is gonna be okay. Again, Lich in a team fight did not cast. And that is the weakness of Lich against the Invoker. Invoker so much more range. You could bring him to the air. TIE Hunter blinks in and just initiate. Lich just gotta play stay away, because if he even stands near, he will just get hexed or get stunned and he's dead. Chain Frost. No, not Chain Frost. And that is dual racks against Scythe.SG. And a CCM is just making this look absolutely easy. Dominated both mid lane. Well, I wouldn't call bot lane dominated. I think that bot lane was a little bit of wash. Top lane was lost to the Lich, but it doesn't really matter. Ferrari dominated the mid lane so much. We're gonna see Blink Dagger on the Lich. Lich gets Hex, EMP Tornado, and Chain Frost is casted, but he's gonna go down. That Chain Frost is just not doing enough damage at this point, especially with everyone sitting at at least 1,200 HP with the constant post healing of the Necrolite, with the Mecha regen, with the passive regen for the Invoker. Yeah, that Chain Frost, even though a devastating teamfight capability in any other game, in this game it's just a little bit too little too late. So Tidehunter with the Blink Dagger, using it so very offensively. Also having a Force Staff and Ferrari dropping down those ice walls. GG not being called. You don't need to call GG because it's land. But we're seeing the game is over. And not much to say about that game. I sorry that end game screen cut off. And there was not much I could talk about. But I don't really need to show you the end game stat. I'm pretty sure Yamate had absolutely nothing, whereas Invoker had probably the most farm in the game. And that is the reason why you ban Invoker. Like, in terms of a hero, he can do so much stuff. You might be thinking, well, Morphling got BKB, right? So does that render the Invoker useless? Not really, because he could just drop down the ice wall, and then the Morphling just sitting duck in terms of that ice wall. You saw that ice wall, even with the BKB on, that Morphling was going absolutely nowhere. And very unorthodox item build of the Orchids, but that Orchids gave him so much plus damage that he could just right click. I mean, he transitioned into a DPS hero, even without going Exort build. So, I mean, of course, this game was pretty stompy, but if you want to learn anything from this game, take away from the games that Invoker is such an OP hero. You can see that he, like, whoever, I don't know who outlanes Invoker, maybe Bad Rider, I'm not even sure about that. Bad Rider can kind of go in with Firefly and maybe force a kill, but between Cold Snap and an Orb of Venom hit, I don't think even Bad Rider could outlane. I'm just thinking maybe Syllabear might be do it. Lich, I don't think Lich could do it either. That's why it's just better off to ban Invoker. Such a BC hero. If you give him the early farm, I mean, Invoker didn't even have too much farm. You can see that he was being very effective with just a Phase Boots and a Jangle. Like, name any other item and any other hero that could be so effective with solo item. Well, Enchantress is one, but you know, it's kind of it's a totally different role. So hope you guys enjoyed this rather short commentary. Invoker's such a beast, so congratulations to CCM just pwning so many teams in the IC Pro Tournament land. Actually, I believe LGD SGTY was also in the tournament. I believe they're the only two Chinese teams that were entered in the tournament, but both the teams placed very high. CCM just ran a roller coaster train through the ADC champions, which is the Scythe.SG. So they made SG look pretty bad actually. But let's move beyond that. Hope you guys enjoyed this commentary, and for more commentaries and content, check us out on DotaCommentaries.com. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Luminous signing off. GG guys.